Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. We have more from Frank Sinatra coming up. Actually, more of Frank with Gene Kelly, Jules Munchin, and Betty Garrett, with whom he shared the screen in our last film. Up next is the second collaboration of Gene Kelly and Frank Sinatra in movies. The first had been a 1945 film we'll be showing in a couple of hours called Anchors Away. But the second Sinatra and Kelly movie is titled Take Me Out to the Ball Game. MGM released it in early 1949, Frank getting top billing over Gene Kelly and Esther Williams. But despite that billing, Frank at this point was experiencing something of a slight cooling off in his popularity. His record sales had started to drop off, and except when teamed in a movie with Gene Kelly, he was no longer a guaranteed draw at the box office. But MGM, I think, in large part, was responsible for that. I mean, in most of the movies that he made for MGM, Frank Sinatra was typecast as somebody who's the complete opposite of the swinging guy he was in real life. Frank always in those movies playing the nerd who's so shy around girls he can barely even stutter, while Gene Kelly in the movies was always the guy who never met a babe he couldn't conquer. The only time during this period when Frank Sinatra was allowed to play something other than a dork is when he went to RKO to play a compassionate priest in the movie The Miracle of the Bells. He would have had a whole different start in movies, I think, if MGM hadn't typecast him from the beginning as the skinny, geeky guy who's more content to spend a Saturday night in a library than finding the courage to ask a girl to dance with him. Well, the idea for the storyline of our film came from Gene Kelly and Stanley Donen, longtime friends who'd worked together setting up dance numbers for Gene in several earlier movies. Kelly and Donen this time received actual screen credit for their choreography. And in their next film together, On the Town, which we just showed, they received their first screen credit as co directors. The official director of our movie was Busby Berkeley, although it was Kelly and Donen who really were responsible for the vitality and energy this film has. The man who produced it was Arthur Freed, the man who had a magic touch in making musicals that elevated them far above average, even above the MGM musicals made by other producers. Now, it's not a movie that exactly breaks new ground, but did give Frank Sinatra a great chance to be working with the best of the best. Here's the story of two baseball players by day who are song and dance men by night. A movie co-starring Esther Williams, this time Esther spending more time around a baseball diamond than around a swimming pool. 1949, Take Me Out to the Ball Game.